Talking with the experts.
Monica Badiu speaks about how to get comfortable about selling with email marketing when you're not a copywriter and are afraid your email subscribers will leave you in episode 281.
It's a misconception a lot of people have about this, because email marketing is just another communication channel, and it basically moves the selling conversation you'd have with the person one-on-one in the offline environment. It just moves it into the online world. And something that really helps me write lots of emails every month is, what does my person need to know right now for them to be clear about what I am asking them to do? And if you have like some customer audience research, some surveys, you're gonna discover that they have a lot of questions. So your emails are gonna tap into that conversation that's already happening in their head. And let's say it's a course about email marketing, right? So my audience's questions are gonna be, but I'm gonna be like spammy if I send a lot of emails, right? So I'm gonna have an email that busts that myth, and I show them how it actually helps to send more emails.
Welcome to Talking with the Experts. This is where we discuss great ideas to take your business to the next level. How do we know these ideas work? Well, it's because we're talking with business owners who are using these ideas. Business owners who have years of experience and expertise. All things business by business owners for business owners. And now, here is your host, Rose Davidson.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners, and you can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. And let me ask you this question. Do you feel icky using email marketing as a selling tool for your business? Every business needs to know how to sell to be profitable. And unfortunately, many companies are struggling to understand how to sell online. Those who figure out this process will stay in business. And my next guest, Monica Badiu, will explain to you why email marketing is so important. Welcome, Monica, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Hello, Rose, and hello, everybody who is listening today.
So tell me, why is it so important that we use email marketing as a tool to selling products or services in our business?
So there's a couple of reasons. The most important one is that this is kind of a channel that you own. And I'm using air quotes saying this because with, let's say you use Facebook paid traffic or Google paid traffic to send leads to your funnel. You don't really control that because they change their algorithms. Maybe, I know, your ads get banned, maybe your entire account gets banned. So this means that your flow of leads is always uncertain. But with email marketing, you kind of have a direct connection to your potential leads. And you decide, with some minor discussion about deliverability and things like that, but you kind of decide the conversation, the frequency, the content. So you have a lot more control with email marketing than you have with paid traffic. So that's number one. The second one is, it's a very different relationship when you talk with someone on email marketing compared to social media. So if you go to social media, people are there for like having fun, entertainment, maybe socializing. But with the email marketing, if somebody decided to read your email, then that person means that they are interested in what you have to say. So it's a complete different state of mind for the person reading your emails, which means that you have a better chance of moving that prospect into becoming a buyer. So that would be like the biggest two.
Yeah, I agree with both of those. However, if you're not a copywriter and you don't know how to, you're not good at writing content and you think, oh, I've got to send an email out every week. And how do you not bore your readers with, I mean,
That'd be boring.
yeah, yeah, how do you not bore your readers and get them to be interested in what you have to write if you're not very good at content? I mean, obviously you would outsource that if you could afford to, but some people just can't afford to, and they it's difficult for them.
It's a very good question. And I get this from a lot of the people I coach, and they have the same problem. But what if I'm going to lose my subscribers if I send more emails? What if they just don't like it? What if I don't get opens? What if I put a lot of effort into this and nothing happens? Obviously, you need to test it. But secondly, you can write good emails even though you're not a copywriter and you're not outsourcing those. It's actually a whole thing, because if you're the business owner who is writing those emails, then you have a very valuable insight into your audience and into your solution. Even if you'd hire a copywriter, they'd still need a lot of time and researching to understand your audience, the problem you solve, and how your solution solves that problem. So, in short, if you know your audience, there's no way you're going to be boring. And if you make your emails about your audience's problem, so it's all about them, then there's no way people are going to hate reading your emails. They're actually going to look forward to getting another email from you, because with each email you send, they learn something new about themselves, about the problem, and they get value from that.
So, but what, I guess, what should be included in an email? I mean, most often, an email sequence, if you're trying to sell, say a course at the end of it, so you have lead up emails to go before you get to the actual thing that you're trying to sell. But what other things could people include in an email so that it makes the email more interesting?
Okay, so you're gonna have different emails for different goals or different stages of that prospect in your funnel. Now, let's just address the basic stuff. So let's say you have a promo sequence, exactly what you said, it's going to promote something. So a lot of people, because they hate the idea of writing the emails, they feel like, I don't want to be salesy, this makes me feel icky and all that stuff. They miss out on so much potential, because an email can be anything. It can be a video, it can be a story, it can be a testimonial, it can be something I call future proofing, basically showing them what the future can be if they decide to join you with that solution. It can be myth busting. It can be busting false beliefs, because a lot of people have many false beliefs about what they can and cannot do. So there's this entire new perspective of what you can send someone if you just look at your email perspective of how can I add value into this person's life today.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, I because I don't like doing email marketing, I loathe it. and really I'm trying to sell a course at the moment, and email marketing really is the way to go to sell this course. However, I'm always a little bit scared of people leaving and not, thinking that I'm being spammy or salesy, because, I just don't know what to include. And, I think I'm probably amongst the majority of people in the same place, that they just don't know what to include in their emails. And your tips there were very interesting, because I thought, I hadn't thought about, a testimony, showing a testimonial, or, just having a bit of fun. I always think of emails as being, serious bits of content.
Yeah, it's a misconception a lot of people have about this, because email marketing is just another communication channel, and it basically moves the selling conversation you'd have with the person one-on-one in the offline environment. It just moves it into the online world. And something that really helps me write a lot of emails every month is, what does my person need to know right now for them to be clear about what I am asking them to do? And if you have like some customer audience research, some surveys, you're gonna discover that they have a lot of questions. So your emails are gonna tap into that conversation that's already happening in their head. And let's say it's a course about email marketing, right? So my audience's questions are gonna be, but I'm gonna be like spammy if I send a lot of emails, right? So I'm gonna have an email that busts that myth, and I show them how it actually helps to send more emails, ideally daily. If you can't do daily, then ideally at least once a week or even more, because it actually improves the relationship you have with that person. Okay, so the next question would be, but what if they're gonna leave? I worked so hard to collect these email addresses, and I'm really scared that I'm gonna lose my subscribers. And I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna challenge everything. Let them go. If they go, it's either because you're not the right fit for them, or maybe they just satisfied their need with you, and that's fine, because if they stay on your email list and they don't open your emails or mark them as spam or they bounce or whatever, that actually impacts your inboxing. So the more people you have that aren't a good match on your email list, the more damage they actually do. So this is how it kind of works. It's a conversation. Each email is a conversation.
A good point. Yes, I guess I could treat my emails like I'm having a conversation with you and asking the right questions, and hopefully even asking my audience questions that they might be able to answer, and ask for their opinion and their feedback. Good point. Good point. So
Yeah,
what is
email marketing is a lot of fun if you kind of decide to make it fun.
Yeah, I think I probably, for myself, I take it far too seriously, and I think maybe I have to be too serious. But you've made a good point to say you could make it fun. So that's a good point to remember. Make the emails fun and not so serious. So what other points
Yeah.
would people be looking out for if they're going to write an email sequence?
Okay, so first of all, it starts with making sure that you know your audience. You know who they are, you know what keeps them up at night, you know their fears, you know their problems. That's very important. Don't write anything until you know that. Because once you know that, it's very easy to write anything else, including the subject lines, including the email text, because they tell you in their own words how a specific pain point impacts their life. Something is very similar with what we've just talked about, right? So, well, I never thought email marketing can be fun. Wow, that's awesome. And that can be like a subject line in that promo sequence that promotes your course. Okay, what else? One call to action per email. So ask them to do one thing, ask them to concentrate on one thing. So that's what I'm talking, conversation, right? Each email addresses one thing and ask them to do one thing. So go to this page to learn more. Check out the course on this page. Get your special discount here. And you repeat that same call to action throughout your email, but you don't really change it, right? One thing only. Oh, very important. If we're talking about the promo sequence, the last 48 hours overall promotional sequence is very important. A lot of people buy that. You're usually gonna see at least double the revenue you've been making in the other days in the last 48 hours, because a lot of people procrastinate and a lot of people are just motivated by the fear of missing out. So I sent 3 emails in 48 hours. Those are very important. You can make them fun. Something like, call the police, this is an emergency. Your discount is about to expire today. Make sure you get it here. Or you can make it, let's call it serious, in that you actually address their reticency to buy. So, hey, you've been procrastinating for a week. That says something, and it's not about time management. Procrastination is a symptom of an emotional something or a fear that's keeping you locked in this dark place. Well, let me show you what can happen if you overcome your procrastination today. Click the join button now, and you kind of give them a short scenario of what's going to happen if they do join. Very realistic scenario, not like all your problems are going to go away when you click that button.
Point. I've learned a lot already from you. That's wonderful. Thank you.
My pleasure. I love talking about email marketing. I love teaching it, and I see it work for so many people, especially in the online course industry. It's a very, very valuable tool, and many businesses, they're just not using it because they're afraid. They're afraid of it.
Yeah, and you're quite right. It's something, I guess, if you aren't used to doing it, it doesn't come easily to you. You put it off and put it off and put it off, but you know that you need to do it, because otherwise you're not going to reach all of the people that could benefit from whatever service or product or course or program or whatever it is that you're offering. So you've made some really great points, Monica. Thank you so much for sharing those. Have you thought about writing a book about all that you know?
That's another good question. I was thinking about creating a course, but something that many copywriters struggle with is imposter syndrome. So once I deal with that, I might consider actually doing a book or a course or things like that. For now, I'm teaching people how I do it and how other people are doing it, hoping that they're be more curious and more courageous with this, because it's really not that bad as they think it is.
I look forward to reading your book or finding out more about your course, because I think it's well worth the effort to take a course to learn how to do email marketing correctly. So yeah, I look forward to that. Agree. I hope you get over your imposter syndrome soon.
I hope so too. At the end, I'd like to add one more thing. So sure. One of the people I coached, he presented this whole idea with having a good email list and sending email promotions to them it's like you have your own bank. If you need a loan, if you need some cash, you create an email promotion and you send it to your email list, because that's how it goes. And it's a very profitable asset. If you ever decide to sell your business, your email list is going to increase the value of your business considerably. So with that in mind, if you're not comfortable with sending multiple emails or sending email promotions, at least start collecting email addresses.
Yes, I've got plenty of email addresses. That's not a problem. Just
start writing them.
Write the emails.
Write the emails.
Monica, where can people find you if they'd like to know more or to work with you?
So they can find me on my website. It's the same as my name, monicabadiu.com. They can also find me on YouTube, same name. I have some quick copywriting tutorials in there, and on LinkedIn, same name.
Perfect. All right, I'll go and search out your YouTube channel and have a bit of a look. I'm intrigued now.
Oh, thank you.
Monica, have you got anything that you'd like to share with our audience today? Some hint, tip, that you've not shared already, or a quote or something?
So it's always difficult to start. But with marketing, you will never know what actually happens with a strategy until you test it. So my suggestion to you is to always be curious, test things before you decide that they will not work for you.
Good quote, good tip, good hint. Yes, try before you buy. Or try before you give up, I guess, would be more to the point. Monica, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you and meeting you all the way from Romania. Thank you for coming on today and sharing your great wisdom on email marketing. It's been really eye-opening for me.
Oh, thank you so much, Rose. It's been a pleasure.
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time. Talking with the Experts.